Okay. Well, welcome to the 5D Academy of Higher Consciousness. I'm Zarathustra and broadcasting live from Tulum, Mexico. So, today topic, we're going to be talking about dimensions and extraterrestrial beings, ETs. Is that right, Miss Hilde? That's one of our
Yes, that's correct.
yeah. So a couple of our participants, uh, they would they requested that we do talk about these topics. So the both topics are very interesting, and a lot of people they care for it and they look into it. So basically, there are 12 dimensions, and the question was whether we will be more enlightened if we reach the higher dimensions. And is that right, Susanna? You wanted to know if we enter in a higher level and higher dimension, whether we're more enlightened and
Yes.
more awakened or not. But
Yes.
so the the main point when it comes to dimensions that we need to pay attention is that at what point the individual person who is in third dimension and its experience, its daily experience is separation. So obviously, as I'm sitting over here and talking to you, I don't feel oneness with my computer screen or with my phone. I don't feel one with this glass of water. There is a sense of separation between the objects, but we want to look into this, that do these objects and anything that appears to be separated, are they outside of ourselves or simply their projection of the mind? So this is something that we really need to, first of all, before we go any further in this uh, topic of dimensions, if we're going to dive into it and go deep in it. So, is there going to be a recording factor? Is there going to be like an awareness that someone is witnessing this and somebody's recording? Is which in quantum physics, they, after all the work they've done, they came to this conclusion that unless there is a witness, if it's a camera or it's a person watching, the particles are not there. They disappear. And then as soon as that you set up a camera or you have someone witnessing it, things appear. So, which also takes me, it's very much uh, similar to the teachings in Advaita Vedanta. That means there has to be a subject and an object. So there's got to be a witness, witnessing and taking notes, recording whatever is being perceived. So when we reach a certain level of awareness, and let's say we enter into fifth dimensional consciousness, so is there a person still there to make notes of it? Once your consciousness dissolves into the absolute, so who's there making notes? Because from this dimension, from this point of view, obviously there's a witness. There is a person who's observing things, situations. Whether we're observing our inner world, I'm looking into my mind, I'm paying attention to my emotions, I'm looking at my body. But so there is a subject and object relationship happening. But what happens when your consciousness emerges into the one? And in that point, who is witnessing it, and to whom does it matter? The Because there's got to be somebody there who's interested, somebody who's this is important to them and they want to know. But if the person dissolves, then to whom are we going to make a report to? So while the dimensions do exist, and also while we come to this understanding that we are multidimensional beings and we're operating simultaneously as infinite beings, we are operating in all dimensions simultaneously because we're infinite. And infinite does not just stops at one point. Infinite means infinite, everything. So all of that is connected, is a part of the oneness, and it simultaneously is happening as everything else is happening. So again, there has to be an individual, there has to be a recording device, there has to be a witness, there has to be somebody that to them they're able to observe or experience the higher dimensions, and then they can explain it to us. But once that person consciousness evolves and expands into the absolute, then who's there to report? So like there's a riddle, they say, I'm sure you've heard that, it's if a tree in the woods, it falls and there's nobody there witnessing it, does it make any noise when it's falling down if there is no witness there? And the tree broke and it falls down on the ground. So who's going to know? There has to be somebody. So there are parts of this equation which falls into the category of the unknown and the mysteries of life, that obviously us as human beings with our limited mind, we cannot understand these things because the mind, the power of mind, it's got frames. Like this TV about me, it's got frames. And now, if you come outside of it, outside of the frames of this TV, then you're out of it. So the same thing happening is like, imagine your mind is limited to as parameters. Outside of that parameters, it cannot understand. So can you know the unknown? Is it possible to know the unknown? So these are like paradoxes and areas that for human mind is not capable of understanding it. So that means you have to go beyond the mind. You have to go into this other place that is way more expanded than the mind. But the mind is inquisitive. It wants to understand things. but there are things that the mind can't understand. There's no way, there's nothing you can do about it. So, so that goes as far as the dimensional business. Now, do you have any other? Do you have a question regarding what I said so far, Susanna?
No, it's clear.
Yeah,
And I think that we only can experience this when we are in a deep, deep, deep meditation, when we are really gone in the meditation.
yeah, yeah. And you have. The only thing is, once you're in that deep meditation, in this expansion, is there is no Susanna saying, "Oh wow, I am right now one with everything." It's just the oneness is happening, but there's nobody there recording it, but it's happening. So only afterwards, it's like when you come back from that expanded place that you're gone, and you're one with everything. But when you come back, and you come back to your human consciousness, and back into the limitations of the mind, is normally is when you just look back and you say, wow, I was gone, you know for half an hour, 1 hour, or whatever period of time. I was completely gone, and I was one with everything. But not when that oneness is happening, because it requires someone separated from it to record it.
Yes.
When I'm in total oneness, there is no Zarathustra or nobody there to just say, oh, wow, God, wow, right now I'm one with God. No, oneness is the only thing there is. And there is no witness to it. The witness is gone. It's just is. It's happening, but no one's witnessing it or even experiencing it. It could be an experience happening, but there's nobody there experiencing it. So
I call it sometimes it's like the 0 point, or like it's nothing.
yeah, exactly. The 0 point. So when we're attempting to understand this with our minds, which it's very natural. We all have gone there, and we all at times entertaining it and trying to understand what's what's at the end of this space. Where is this space going to end? Is there an end to it? Or okay, what is God, and who created God, and how was I created? And with this complete perfect machine that is working so amazingly, or how everything has come to be, and these planets are turning, planet Earth. I mean, the quite often we forget, we are on a rolling ball. It's a ball suspended in the middle of nowhere, and it's turning around itself, assuming that planet Earth is round. Because, I mean, I'm going based on the stories I've been told. I've never been outside of planet Earth in a spaceship to be able to say, okay, well, it's round. I mean, I'm going based on the videos and the photos and all the stories that I've heard, that it's round. Okay, so let's go beyond that. Let's agree that it is round. Okay, but it's turning around itself, and it's a very high speed. It's turning around itself. Yet, I don't feel it. And how is this working? And then it's turning around itself, and then it's going around the sun, and then there's a bunch of other planets that they are turning around themselves, and they're holding their distances from this one, and somehow they don't collide with each other, and they're all turning around themselves and turning around the planet Earth, and now one of them is being pulled to the sun by a sun's gravity. You know, it's just like unknown, completely unknown. All these systems that have come to existence, there's no way with human mind you can understand it. Was it created? Is this an accident? Is this like created by higher beings, ETs? That Hilda was asking, talking about ETs. Um, Obviously, I mean, you've been bringing it up for a while, Hilde, and you said you had some experiences. So, do you want to tell us about your experiences lately? Because you brought this subject to me a few times recently.
Yeah, do you want to listen to that?
Yes, not a long story, but we do.
Yeah, I've been sitting meditating with a friend of mine, Sharon, and then suddenly, I've always been afraid of ETs, And evening before they came, I said, okay, no, I'm not afraid anymore. Just come and visit. So then I began meditating, and then I felt a lot of people around me, entities, and they said they were from Andromeda, and they were pushing my aura, and that told me that they were very strong and they cannot kill me if they want to, but they were friendly. They just gave me love. And then they take out my different kind of organs and put them back again and pain in my foot, And I did something with that, and they told me and taught me healing, different kind of healing modalities.
I thought I taught you. I thought I taught you the healing.
Of course. This is Zarathustra number what,
And this is when is this recent encounter you had?
No, I talk to them daily.
But do you see them also, or you just feel them?
I feel them, and I don't. They're not come in front of me, But I'm doing my telepathy, and I see them through my third eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So now your question, you wanted to know something. What is your question?
Now, if you want to talk about it, have you encountered with EETs? Have you had some meetings, learned something from them?
The encounter I had was with the fifth dimensional beings that they encountered me in 2000 and I don't remember 9, I believe. So that encounter that I had, so that they started downloading information. I think I've told you that story before. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah. So and but it wasn't visual. I didn't have a visual contact, like seeing beings in that form, like what we're seeing, the Hollywood version, or ET beings, big eyes, big head. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or anything like that, or no, I have not. However, I know this was asked Papa G, whether the extraterrestrial beings, they live and they exist. And I remember that Papa G's answer was, they're just as real as you and I. And also the topic of the ghost had come up, like whether the ghosts they exist, and he had the same answer. They're just as real as you and I. So uh, now, but then you want to investigate further is how real are we? Am I am I how real am I?
Yeah, I know.
And right, and why when I sleep and I don't dream, I disappear? Where do I go? And and if I am real, then why am I changing all the time? I'm changing from one thing to another thing, and then at the end, the body dies, and I'm pronounced dead. So, is it real? Because ultimately, we just have to kind of investigate what is real. Then it just goes back to something I mentioned earlier today when we talked about it, is like the what we need an observer, one who's perceiving things, and these things, they appear out of my mind, because this world is a creation of my mind. Is my reality that I live in is a creation of my mind or my subconscious, or it's just there? So the thing is, like, one question and one answer is going to lead to other questions and other answers. I remember a long time ago, there was a magazine was coming out. I don't know if it's still happening or not, but back in the day, there was no digital stuff because there was no internet, and it was Osho Times. So, and Osho was talking about when you go to India, for example, because India is a very powerful place, and back in the day, I used to go to India a lot during the time that I was searching for self-realization and looking for God and wanting to become one with God and looking for happiness, and basically looking for ways to get out of suffering, out of depression, anxiety, fear, and getting out of the suffering. So, and I remember he mentioned, he had written this thing that India actually was saying it's not a geographical place on the map that you go to. In India is a place that you're traveling into your own consciousness, and through this journey within yourself, you find yourself in India. Now, I think he was referring to the spiritual part of India, that a lot of people go to gurus and teachers. Uh, in that sense, I think he was referring to. So, and I had this experience more than once that I'm in Sedona, Arizona, and I'm hiking, and maybe it rained a little bit, and all the red rocks are fluorescent and shining, and with the vegetation, green vegetation and fluorescent rocks. And you've been in Sedona, Hilde and Marit, and so, and there were moments like I was like, where am I? I'm hiking in the middle of the mountains, and it's beautiful, gorgeous, majestic scenery, and I'm all by myself. And it's like there are moments like, where am I? Where is this? Or you're watching the sunset, and the colors, the contrast of the colors, everything's so animated, so powerful. Like there are moments like, I don't know where I am. Is is this on planet Earth? Am I on Mars? Am I in another dimension? And am I really in a geographical place on the map? Or am I traveling within my own psyche? Am I in a journey within myself? So um, we come back to this point: is this world we live in, is this, does it really exist? Or it's a part of the creation of my mind, or our minds? How do I tell? And if that's the case, then how do I tell the difference? Because you can see, like when you sleep at night and you're dreaming, and something either pleasant happening or something unpleasant is happening, and it seems in the moment when you're in the dream, it's very, very real. Yeah, when you're dreaming, someone's chasing you with a knife, or a tiger is chasing you, or I don't know, something is happening, or maybe you're having sex with someone, or whatever it is. In that moment, it's very, very real. And then sometimes, of course, if it's a nightmare, when you wake up and you're very happy that you got out of it, because you realize, oh, thank God I was dreaming, this is not real. So it's a paradox. It's not something that human mind can understand.
Can you please share a little bit more about how we can be in different dimensions at the same time, different kind of fragments or something?
Well, being just by being, okay? Obviously, when your consciousness is not expanded, and you have a sense of separation. So as most of us experiencing throughout our lives here on this planet. But when your consciousness expands and you go beyond the limitations of your mind, which you have experienced that through meditation or dances, or a lot of times we have been together in workshops that you feel expanded, extremely expanded. So in this expansion, where do you expand to? I mean, this expansion, it's not physical, but how do you explain this expansion? When you fall into this place that you later on you come and say, wow, I I was one with everything. Okay? So in this oneness, what is it? Uh, what's the nature of this oneness? How is it being explained? And is in this place of total oneness, you know, there it appears there is no limitation in it. Or the beings that you speak about, that they're coming to you and they're doing the healing. One of them is that. Or when inspirations come and you write some amazing poetry, or you start writing a book, or notes, or music comes out of you. So where do they come from? So do they come from your connection to other dimensions? Do they come from your expanded? Because when you're contracted and your consciousness comes back into being a person, all of a sudden everything tightens up. And your reality is very important. Where you live, the town you live, and then your government and people, society. We all just delve into that, and everything, all this stuff is becomes super important. But then when you're in this other expanded place, that you become one with everything, or the topic comes like we were talking about earlier, that we live on this ball, so this ball is turning around itself. So if you start to expand your view, looking at life from that point of view, like you're looking at the bigger picture, like you're on this planet, and then you come out of it and you're looking at it, then suddenly, like, your personal issues that you're dealing with during the days become unimportant. They're just like, because your awareness got expanded, your attention has gone into a bigger picture. So these other things, they become unimportant. Oh yeah, he didn't look at me, or Zarathustra was here and he didn't put your hands on me. I didn't get the healing. Everybody got the healing. Stuff that in the moment maybe they're really important or a big deal. But then when you are in this other space, that you're looking at totality, you're looking at existence, you're looking at life. So suddenly it's like this other stuff become unimportant.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure. I don't know, did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. So now I ask myself, is then the total oneness also an illusion?
Yeah, that's an illusion too, because it's the oneness from this angle, it's important. But from the absolute, there's never been separation. So the the oneness becomes an idea. It becomes a concept. But when it's one, it's one. It doesn't even debate its oneness. It's just is. So in a way, you can say it's an illusion too. Yeah, it's interesting. It's crazy. I mean, it's definitely a juicy subject. Talking about dimensions, talking about extraterrestrial beings, and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but it's funny, but it works to work with these illusion beings. I often work with the angels, and it's I get results, healing results, other results. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, I these angels separated from you. You know, are they? Is this like something outside of yourself? That is that is the question.
No, they are not outside.
Right.
I experienced more and more that then in this moment I am this. I'm the protector of the forest when I'm in the forest, and I'm also the angel. And in the beginning they were around me, but now I often feel I am this in this moment.
Yeah.
And then I'm the light, this really
Yeah.
shiny light. And then my body is like nothing. He
Yeah.
didn't exist.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you are. You know, you're all of it simultaneously. All of it
Yes.
is happening simultaneously, which
Yes.
there's no explanation by the mind. The mind cannot explain it in any ways. Like, how am I all these things simultaneously? As I mentioned, the mind doesn't have the capability of understanding the infinite, but you touch it and you understand it and you feel it because you are infinite. And there are a lot of there are moments in life that it's very clear that you're the infinite. Maybe in that moment you don't have a way of explaining it or describing it, but it's happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course, naturally, in those moments, there is no suffering. You know, the mind is not there. You don't feel suffering. There is no emotions of depression or anxiety or fear. Those emotions are gone, and there is just this sense of unity and oneness and total expansion. And of course, naturally, we want to be there all the time
Yes.
because there's no suffering. And then when our awareness gets contracted or shrinks, it gets really focused on the body, the mind, the mechanism, and becomes an individual. And then this becomes our total reality, and and with that comes suffering too.
Thank you.
Okay. It's nice to see you all.
Nice to see you again too.
Yeah, it's been what, 2 weeks? Sort of.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. It's interesting because this is sort of like a love affair. And then when we don't see each other for a while, I mean, I definitely miss you guys. So I was like, oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing you today. And normally I get a message from you or from Susanna prior to the academy. I was wondering, like, it's very quiet. I haven't heard anything from anybody. Uh, are we? Do they know we're gonna have the academy tomorrow? Are we doing this? So I was like, part of me was like, oh, it's quiet.
You were quiet too.
I was quiet too.
There was a part of time bombing us with your nice photos, with your youth and all this other stuff. And then from now to the next moment, it was absolutely quiet around you.
Actually, it's interesting because in the past 2 3 days I've been just mostly staying home and not really going anywhere. So
That is nice too, you know?
yeah,
Just, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just been very lazy. It's like oh, it really feels good not going anywhere. And this is an outdoorsy place because you know normally you want to go out all the time, but it was like the energy wasn't there, the feeling wasn't there. It's like I don't want to go anywhere.
I know the feeling. That is best to be home and enjoy the silence.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think something will happen in the system.
Yeah, I mean it's like anything in life, there are times in your life that you feel very social and being out there connecting with people, you just feel like the need or it's happening. And there are times in your life that you just don't feel like you want to stay in your shell. You want to stay in your cave. And they're both fine. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or not. You're just enjoying spending time with your holy self, the presence. So, and as Hilda mentioned, then you have visitations, and you have been experienced, like mentioning angels showing up. So,
I also go in contact with Pleiadians.
with who?
The Pleiadians.
Play audience.
Pleiadians, Pleiada, the star system Pleiada, which is the basic of the Maya calendar.
Uh-huh. Right. Cool. All right, my dears. So it's very nice seeing you. And I will see you next week.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Send you a big hug and a big kiss. Nice seeing you. Well, Richard, I was thinking about you yesterday. Actually, I was thinking like, where is he? Is he around? And boom, here you are. All right, my dears.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and
thank you for your wisdom.
You're welcome, and all the audience from around the world. Thank you for joining us. My website is Zarathustra.tv, and this broadcast um, is going to be posted on YouTube, Facebook, and on our website, as well as I'm also simultaneously recording through Instagram. So, looking forward to connecting with you. We are currently setting up my upcoming tour to Norway and
Yeah.
Poland and possibly Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
do
can
our
talk.
best.
We can talk about it. Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
We're so looking forward to have you back in Hammer, you know.
Well,
We're
thank
missing
you.
you.
I'm looking forward to come back.
Yes. Then we can play in the snow, huh?
I never complain.
Yeah.
Do I?
No.
I don't care if I don't have a problem with when I come to Europe. It's it my mindset is I know I'm there and it's cold, so I dress up for it. So, and it's a different story because yeah, I mean there are times that it's really really cold. So, and I'm not the cold type of a person handle cold very well, and we all know that. But I love the snow. I love to see the snow, but I don't think at that time of the year there may be. Who knows?
It has been snowing in Norway on May 17th, you know.
Yeah, I know.
People
Like
are going in the pride and it's snowing.
but that was like 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. All right, my dears. Nice seeing you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.
Namaste.
Namaste. Love to all.
Namaste. Thank you. Have a good time.